the late afternoons here at St. Jerome's, life gets very quiet, and it's wonderful to walk around the grounds of St. Jerome's and walk among the trees and the shrubs and realize how blessed we are by God to have this beautiful facility. And we thank God for the people who maintain it, especially our regular volunteers who give of themselves so often to make sure our grounds look beautiful. And as we walk by the lake and look at the buildings, we see the Ed Kilroy Outreach Building and think of Lifeline Ministries and think of the people there and all the work that they do in feeding the poor and the needy. Truly a sense of caring, giving back to God what God has given to them, sharing of themselves with others. And as we walk around the pond and see the education building, we think too of all of the students who come here, all the volunteer religious educators who give up their time and talent so that our young people may know God and know His tremendous love for them. We think of the teachers who share their faith with the little ones, the 2-, 3-, and 4-year-olds in the Early Childhood Center. We think too of the senior citizens who come to Bethlehem Center, our Senior Activity Center, and those who help them and give of themselves for them. We think of the phenomenal choirs we have at St. Jerome's, and they practice so many times to help lead us in worship and in prayer so that we might truly praise the God who has blessed us so greatly and given us so much. And then we come through to the Easter Chapel, which is also, or was also, our parish center. We see feeding the homeless people of Pinellas County and Pinellas Hope. Again, more people giving of themselves to build up the body of Christ, to feed the hungry. They are all God's people and we care for them. And so it's a sample of all that goes on at St. Jerome's, which is so active and so alive. But ultimately, we are people blessed by God. In our renewal of stewardship this year at St. Jerome's, our theme is becoming Christ's witnesses. Jesus asked the apostles and the disciples before He left them, "Be ye my witnesses all over the known world." And the apostles and the disciples just did that. We too are called to be His witnesses, to become greater and greater witnesses in our daily lives wherever we go. I'd like for us now to listen to some of our fellow parishioners, people in the pews just like ourselves, and listen to what they would like to share about being Christ's witnesses.
My name is Joan Villar. My husband and I have been members of St. Jerome Parish for about 23 years. We came to St. Jerome's initially, one might say, because of our geographic location, but what keeps us here at St. Jerome's is that nourishing environment, that feeling that we are continuing to grow in faith because of St. Jerome's.
I'm Lina Velasquez. I am a member of the St. Jerome's community. I work with the RCIA group every Monday as a team member. About 2 or 3 years ago, when I first moved to this area, my husband and we were looking for a spiritual home. And we found St. Jerome's to be such an amazing, uplifting, spiritual community. And we just love it. I get to the point that I got tears in my eyes sometimes during the services when the choir is singing or when Tom plays the piano. And it's very emotional, and the service is just beautiful every Sunday.
My name is Bob Tamboli. I've been a parishioner here since we moved into the area about 1.5 years ago, and we discovered St. Jerome. It's a place that when you come here, you grow in your love of God because you're around other people that have that love of God.
My name is Jo McClintock. I first came to St. Jerome when we moved here many years ago. It has been so much more than a place of worship for me. It has given me in recent years, when I've lost loved ones, the strength and the peace of mind that I sought during those hard times. It would have been very difficult to go through that without the strength, without the solace and the comfort that I found here.
I am Nancy Kuznicki. I have been a parishioner of St. Jerome's Church since 1988. I grew up in a family that our faith was every day, everywhere, including Sundays in church. My mom they had wandered into St. Jerome's because they lived in the area, but she told me it's the perfect church for you and the kids. And upon walking into St. Jerome's, I knew exactly what she was speaking about, because St. Jerome's embraces children.
My name is Luis Icasa. I live in the Reddington Shores. I have a large family. I saw the experience of my son. He suddenly was quite involved, and he was taking on different roles in the church. He was becoming it was becoming a more intricate part of his spiritual life. And after talking to him and after getting his feedback, we thought that it was a good fit for us. We were able to find this place which pretty much embraced us with open arms.
I'm Meredith Hegstrom. I recently started attending St. Jerome after I started in the RCIA program. I kind of say sometimes I was lost, and I think there's a lot of people in this situation, they're looking for something and they don't know what it is, and that's what was true for me. And I finally came back here after many years of being away, and it was like I never left. It was very welcoming. No one paid attention to what my background was. They didn't care. They were happy to have me here, and I have felt my faith growing stronger and stronger over this past year that I've been back at the church.
It's been at St. Jerome's where my faith has been growth, where by continuing my spiritual path, I have seen how my faith has grown and how my spiritual journey has been more enhanced and enriched.
My name is Philip McCullum, and this is my wife Marissa and our daughter Molly. St. Jerome is home to me. It's a place that I feel at home when I worship. My wife and I were married here. Our daughter was baptized here. I never thought 20 years ago that I would be where I am today with my faith. And without St. Jerome's, none of these things would be possible.
On a very personal level at St. Jerome's, I think that in building and networking and building relationships, and at times when we've maybe had a little family crisis or illness or something, it's amazing the nourishment that flows from the fellow parishioners and the people and the staff at St. Jerome's.
My dad passed away many years ago. Had Alzheimer's. My mom took care of him for as long as she could till he went into a nursing home. And even then, she was there every single day taking care of him. She was an angel. One of the things that I believe my dad taught me, because I feel it so strongly now, is to help others. Do something for somebody else, just like my mom did for my dad. And you know, the feelings that you get inside when you do something for somebody else, not to be saying that's the reason you do it, but you do it out of love and concern. And it's what God did. He took care of others. When we do things like that, we're doing what God did. Can't get any better than that.
I'm Priscilla Malari, and I've been a parishioner for the past 11 years. God has showed me His personal love and living experience in this church, in this community. My husband has been very ill. I went to the Sunday Mass, at the 12:30 Mass, and when I was leaving, I was by my car, all of a sudden Father Bob appeared. And he said, he usually when he sees me, he says, "Priscilla, how are you?" But this time he said, Priscilla, you look terrible. How are you today? So, well, I said, my husband was placed in a rehab center and I don't want that. So he said, well, stay here. I'm coming with you. And we both went to my husband's room in the rehab center, and he gave him the Holy Eucharist and then gave him the holy oil, anointed him with oil. And to me, that gesture, that action of Father Bob was really, really helping me a lot with, you know, the burden that I have been encountering for the few days that my husband was in that center, because I didn't like it. So it helped me through a lot, and we were able to get discharged. He was able to get discharged after 1 month. But really, those gestures helped me when I was really distraught.
St. Jerome's has shown to be quite involved with their people, with their followers, with their cloth, and I would recommend to anyone to at least come, see, touch, feel, experience, hear what St. Jerome has to offer. I guarantee that you will be drawn to it.
There's something for everyone here. Whatever the composition of your family might be, whether you're an older person who's lost a spouse, or whether you're a single parent, whether you're a family with 2 children, or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, whether you're a single person, there's something here for you. There's a loving community here, an active community, and there is whatever fulfills you, whatever your strengths are, there's something for you here.
Well, I would say that St. Jerome's is a community of wonderful people, very welcoming people, very spiritual community, and that everybody's welcome and everybody will feel at home.
And I just truly feel that St. Jerome's is family. It feels like family. When I walk in and sit down, you know, people ask you how you're doing, and they genuinely care. You see a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and it encourages you to participate in Mass the same way, and to become a vital part of it like you would your family. To step up and do the things that the church needs you to do, and to use the gifts that God had given you.
I would definitely encourage them to come. The parish has a lot of value for the family and the growing children. I love this parish and I would recommend it, 100%.
Since we've been at St. Jerome, it's somewhat astounding to me, because what I get out of coming to Mass, not just the Mass itself, but the talking with the other parishioners, getting to know them, and them getting to know me and sharing experiences, it's opened a new thinking process on my part. When I leave this church with the strength that I've received during the Mass, I now recognize all what I call the little miracles in my life.
As I reflect on St. Jerome's, I realize how very blessed we are. We are a community of very gifted people, gifted by God, and also having a great spirit of generosity, willing to share what God has given to us with others. We return to Him some of what He has given to us, and we share so much of ourselves with others. Our music is a great example of the tremendous gifts which we have in St. Jerome's. So today we thank God. We thank God. We thank God during the season of Thanksgiving for all that He has given to us. We really appreciated these gifts He has given us, and we choose to share them with others. God bless you. and God bless St. Jerome's.